A lot of us have that going, man. We have to worry about a lot of stuff, you know? Like, I got to worry about Al-Qaeda, and I got to be worried about being profiled as Al-Qaeda. We all do. Like, I was at the airport a little while ago, I had a beard going, I was doing a play. And you don't want to be from the Middle East, have a beard, be at the airport. It's not a good idea, you know what I'm saying? I was walking around, I felt paranoid. I was like, these guys are watching me. I feel like they're watching me, man. And then I come up to that metal detector, and that thing just makes you feel guilty anyway. I was like, no matter what you've done, I was walking, I was like, am I packing a gun? I don't think so. I don't own a gun, but let's see what happens. And I walked through, it was like, eh! I'm like, damn it, I'm a terrorist. I knew it, I knew it! I'm like, sir, calm down, it's just your belt. I'm like, how do you know? Check my bags, check my bags! I'm not getting on the plane with me. And then I went to the ticket counter and I wanted the guy to know whose side I was on, so I caught myself enunciating English like never before. Wanted him to know, I was like, hello, my fellow American. How are you? Yes, I'm here to board the aeroplane. Carry-ons? Just this American flag, that's all I'm carrying on.
What's wrong, Mommy?
The people are upset about some things, darling.
America held hostage.
Media is so central to how Americans think about things. It didn't happen if it didn't come on TV. It didn't happen if we don't have a picture of it.
Where do these images come from? What is the relationship between these images and American foreign policy in the Middle East?
What's their impact? Why do they matter? America's love affair with Arabia reached a frenzy with the 1920 British erotic novel, The Sheikh. And Hollywood immediately turned it into a film starring Rudolph Valentino. The Sheikh would create the most popular male sex symbol in the history of American cinema. Americans became interested in Arab sheikhs and the Middle East in general because it was represented as a place where there was a lot of romance and excitement and adventure. America had virtually no economic stake in the region. The Middle East was like a blank slate where Americans could project their fantasies. Despite the enormous box office success of the Sheikh movies, in real life, America's love affair with the Arab was already over.
God has endowed the British race with a worldwide empire. The victories you will have over the heathen are the victories of the nobler soul in man.
By the 1930s, France and England were invading the Middle East, and the Arabs were no longer seen as romantic. What ended America's love affair with Arabia was actual contact. The West was invading the Arabs' land, and the meetings were violent and hate-filled.
Would you march with them, nurse them?
I've even shot them so that the Arab could not take them alive.
As with news headlines, most movies depicted Arabs as assaulting the foreigners, not defending their homeland. In the media, the Arabs, not the British, were the attackers. In the movies, these treacherous natives were like the Redskins of the Old West. They lived in tents and galloped across lawless frontiers. For an entire century after Napoleon's invasion of Egypt in 1798, the Arab world did not see even a 5-year span of relief from the assaults of European countries. The British Empire waged war with Iran, invaded and occupied Egypt and Palestine, and conquered Iraq for its oil. Spain invaded Morocco, Italy attacked Libya repeatedly, and the French took over Algeria. Arab bitterness rose steadily against the apparently unstoppable march of European expansion. As Western economic interests increased in the area, America's image of Arabs worsened.
War. A gruesome way to declare, so that's their answer.
Arab viewpoints rarely made it into the movies.
The thing that gets me most is being done in by them sneaking Arabs.
Arabs struggling to regain their independence were described as fevered, lawless, and ruthless by the New York Times. The media portrayed Arabs as barbaric savages needing Western salvation.
We're always claiming we're liberating the Arabs. We claimed that in 1917 when we arrived in Baghdad. We come here not as conquerors, but as liberators to free you from generations of tyranny. The British were interested in oil then, by the way, in Kirkuk, in Basra, and across the border around Abadan in Iran.
We come not as conquerors, but as liberators. So when American politicians insisted in 2003 that they weren't interested in conquering Iraq, perish the thought, they had come to liberate Iraqis, they were unwittingly repeating a well-established British trope, which is whenever you invade a country, you must assure the natives that you're there to free them, not to subjugate them.
Even when East and West met peacefully, there was little doubt about which people were cleaner and more decent. Their wealth and artistry offered clear evidence of their supposed moral and spiritual superiority.
Furthering the notion of the inferior Arab was one of the world's most fascinating celebrities. Lowell Thomas, one of America's most popular radio hosts, returned from the Middle East with photos and film of a 28-year-old British intelligence officer. Thomas's wildly popular traveling show played to an audience of 4 million over 7 years. The media appointed Lawrence King of the Arabs.
Lowell Thomas's vivid photos and film created America's first mass media superstar. Lawrence's mythic status lives on today in David Lean's 1962 masterpiece, Lawrence of Arabia.
Both the hugely popular Hollywood film and T.E. Lawrence himself blended historical fact with an enduring myth of Lawrence and of the Arabs. Distinguishing fact from fiction becomes nearly impossible. But certain images and scenes seem to reveal a premise, still alive today, that the Arabs needed a white man to lead them.
Sheriff Ali, so long as the Arabs fight tribe against tribe, so long will they be a little people, a silly people, greedy, barbarous, and cruel, as you are.